Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Crusader Kings III, where I have been doing some research here trying to figure out how to navigate the forest of arbitrary restrictions that the game systems have put in front of us, and I think I have some idea of where we're headed now. So I've been talking for a while about wanting to move the capital out of the corner of our kingdom into a place that's like maybe a little bit better defended, and also a place where if we were to focus development on the capital, that development would fan out into the rest of the realm a little bit more effectively, and it looks like that's just a thing you can't do as a tribal leader. It seems like the rules for moving the capital, and again, I'm having to sort of cobble this together from the way people talk about stuff on the Reddit, on the subreddit, and on the internet, because there's no information at all inside of the video game. It seems like you have to move it to a castle or city holding, and we're not allowed to have castles or cities because we are tribal. I don't think that makes a lot of sense, historically speaking, but honestly, the game in general is very interested with the appearance of history and not very interested in the way things did or could have functioned historically. It's like, it has a very aesthetic commitment to history, and that's really where that idea ends. So these are the rules that we're just going to have to function under. I think we have to get feudal before we can move our capital to a place that makes more sense. And unfortunately, getting feudal is a real problem. The development level in our capital area has to be higher. Didn't this say 10 before? Am I misremembering? Whatever. It doesn't matter because this is not the stopping block. The stopping block is the innovation system. We have to get to 70% of all military and civic tribal era innovations, and that is going to take forever. We are about to complete the first innovation of this character's lifetime, and we're not that far off of a second one. There's about a decade left on figuring out how barracks work, thanks to the Norse being fascinated by it. So important to have fascinations that are different than your cultural neighbors, I guess. But you can see all of the other ones are advancing at an incredibly slow rate. And the only thing we can really do to affect the rate that stuff goes up is work on our development. But also, all of the things that would really allow us to work on our development are locked behind other innovations. So like, we're taking an innovation now that in theory should help, but it's only going to help a little bit, right? We're seeing small increases on top of small increases. So we'll become feudal eventually in a way that we really don't have a lot of control over. We can't really juice this system up too much. We're just going to have to wait. So not a thing this character gets to do. While we're waiting for our innovations to come around and our development to increase, and we're, doing the best we can with that, there are some other things that we could be working toward, though. And I think what I've decided is we have the ability to usurp the title of the Kingdom of Denmark. Now, obviously, this is another place where, like, it's just a very arbitrary restriction. We are the King of Denmark. That just, like, simply is the case. But we have to pay 500 wealth for everybody else to agree that we are the King of Denmark, despite the fact that we are obviously the King of Denmark. And we sure don't have 500 wealth right now. So, could we get there? I don't know. Maybe. We have pretty reasonable income right now with our armies raised. And we're going to want to drop these armies as soon as possible. But we have a war to help somebody else win so that we can get out of the war first. So I'm relatively sure we can get that done quickly. I think it should be no problem at all to just push this over. The war would already have been won long ago if the AI was even the tiniest bit competent at fighting wars. Because obviously our AI friend has a huge advantage. But we'll get over there and we'll resolve it for him. And then we'll get out of that war and we'll get to lower our levies. And then we'll probably want to keep him down as much as possible for the rest of our life. Because at this point what we really need is wealth above all else. So yeah, I think that's where we're headed. Now, we do have a little bit of a holding issue. And I was looking at this. Apparently we're in a situation over here. Clicking on that makes all of the information go away. where our daughter is the de jure holder of a chiefdom. She is the duchy level holder of a thing. Let's hold on. Let's dig into this. So this, where's that title? The Chiefdom of Pite. Okay, the Chiefdom of Pite is part of this county is part of the duchy of the High Chiefdom of that Arietia, maybe? Which is held by our daughter. So we can pass this off to her, and that will actually that will help a lot. Right now there's some weird stability problems being caused by us holding that, and we're very eager to pass off titles, right? So let's just go ahead and give her that. That solves one of our problems. One of our several problems. And then we still need to drop 4 holdings, and I'm sort of inclined to just pass off all of the new land to someone else. Make it someone else's problem. What are the titles that we hold over here? Duchy-like level. So this duchy level title doesn't exist. This one... Current holder of this is... Who are you? A vassal in the Kingdom of Denmark. Okay. So, this is one of those things, right, where, like, it seems very arbitrary that legally, we are not the holder of this land, even though we are absolutely the holder of this land. So we're gonna have to deal with some of that stuff. We're gonna have to clean up some of the mess that we have created militarily here. For the moment, who do we want to pass titles off to? We kind of have to create another vassal situation here, right? So what we could do is just pass titles off to people who are already our vassals. But I think we have to be careful about... Yeah, we're definitely creating over-domain issues for our vassals. I mean, what is the actual problem here? Doing so will lower your income and vassal opinions. I mean, our income is pretty important to us. But passing the stuff off to vassals is also lowering our income. I guess, you know what? I'm going to hold on to this stuff until it becomes an issue. Okay, August 9/18. Because I am curious exactly what the math is on passing this stuff off. It may end up being the case that it makes more sense to just hold on to our holdings, depending on what that penalty is, right? Alright, let's get our military over to the war, resolve the war, and then get the hell out of here. Chieftain Avo might join the war. That would be not a big deal. Be like extremely not a big deal. Okay, we finally made it into the boats. Okay, Chieftain Avo has, in fact, joined the war. The guy we were trying to sway has passed away. Okay, well, let's just go down into our vassal list here. And it sure looks like there's not really that many interesting sway targets. You control 460 soldiers. You control 300... Okay, so we don't actually have to worry about... I cannot attempt to sway you. Why is that? Am I not allowed to sway children? Like, his opinion of me does matter. Am I allowed to sway you? No. Okay, so yeah, it may well be. It may well be the case that you just can't sway children. Well, How are we going to fix this, then? I mean, obviously there's a huge problem with our offensive war penalty. I do want to get that offensive war penalty down. I would like to stop fighting wars. Also, he doesn't like that I'm a witch. Feels very judgmental. So I guess the answer is nothing can be done. There is nothing that can currently be done. But we should definitely have some kind of personal scheme running. So what is that? What is the personal scheme that we care about? We could try... This guy's already positive on us. If we pushed his opinion of us higher, it's less likely that he would suddenly declare war on us, which would be a thing, you know, obviously that would be a problem for me. I guess. I don't really have, like, an important sway to be doing right now, but we should be doing something, right? Yes, titles and whatever. Okay, we'll worry about all that stuff later. I do not want to be creating smaller titles right now because we may, in fact, need that money for other things. All right, get over here. Let's just sail up there and complete ourselves a siege. Wow, I guess this was already mostly sieged when we showed up. There's another army in this location. Feels like that should have been visible on the map from the zoom level that we were at. It does bother me how much they want you to zoom all the time. They really want you to play the whole game from, like, this zoom level, but you can't see anything at this zoom level. Okay. Now, we do not have any ability to control whether the demands actually get enforced. Okay, there we go. Good news. Good news. Disband all. Alright, I am not interested in holding a grand sacrifice. That just does not seem like it is part of our deal. Okay, so, this is our focus. All we're missing is the money. I don't exactly know what's going to happen when we usurp this kingdom title, and that's another very good reason to do it. So yeah, let's focus on that. Our steward, our current steward, has very, very high stewardship skill. In fact, I think it's climbing. I think her stewardship is getting higher. So, I'm hoping that she will figure out... I'm going to bounce him over to manage domain mode. I also want more stewardship. I'm hoping that she will figure out how to get us some windfalls here. You know, every once in a while that happens. Just find 75 wealth under the couch. But I think that's about where we're at. I think we are just waiting for the money to roll in. We have reasonable numbers coming in on renown now. 30 members of our dynasty. We have been fruitful, and all of the people that have been produced by that fruitfulness have also been fruitful. I don't really think there's too much more we could do. We could set our steward to focus on tax collection, and that would bring up our cash income, but we got to make sure that our capital area gets to 5 development at least first, so that we are ready to do the other thing when it becomes available. I guess it's really not... It isn't a critical task, though, is it? Yeah, okay. Move to tax collection. Let's get paid. So efficient taxation was a possible side effect of this. This is just extra taxes. And then... I don't know that there's anything else we can do. Upgrading our crown authority is a thing we have to do at some point, but doing it right now will not actually increase our, it won't increase our tax income or anything. That said, we do want to do this before this character dies, because we want to use this character's prestige to do it rather than passing on the cost. So I guess I'm just going to do it now. Yeah, let's just get it done. We do need it done eventually. And then... Head of Faith Law is fine, Gender Law is fine, and we can't... I believe I can't change my succession laws. Yeah, tribal rulers are locked to this succession type. If we wanted to change it to other stuff, we would need hereditary rule, heraldry, primogeniture, so does each one... Okay, no, it's not that each one has its own innovation, but there are innovations for all of them. So yeah, as long as we're tribal, we're stuck. That seems to be the overwhelming theme of what's going on here. Alright, there are a few things I enjoy more than Soya's company. She encouraged me to throw plates and scream into pillows, and after the emotional storm died down, I actually did feel a little better. After this short break, I felt more at ease than I had in a long time. Okay, cool. Totally reset my stress. That's alright. I'll take that. So we currently have control operations going on. Are we doing a conversion? Yes. We are mid-conversion. It's happening. Again, the indicators for where your counselors are and how close to finished they are with their jobs absolutely should be visible at, like, this zoom level even. It's very hard to keep track of what's going on because the game wants you to play the whole thing like this. I wonder if those are adjustable. Maybe they are. I'm a little confused as to why my husband wants to present a grand gift to me in the courtyard, even though this exact event has happened before. So, private levy or personal guard. At this point, I probably shouldn't be doing any personal combat. Yeah, we're starting to get really hit by that old age penalty. So, more troops to bolster the army. Seems like the right way to go. And our personal levies are, like, pretty impressive. Although, we're about to hit... We now have that proper... Oh, no, we still have the 31st of August. Okay. Yeah, we're about to hit that real penalty. Okay, conversion fervor. Alright, so now the penalty should actually be in place. We are suffering minus 60% domain taxes and domain levies on our entire domain? Is that right? It doesn't seem right. We're still definitely bringing in 6.1. Okay. My player heir has just had another kid, right? You're my player heir. Yeah. He's 49 already. He's going to, he's not going to be king for very long at this rate. Yeah, you know what? I think that's a good strong name. We've had good luck with that one. Okay, there we go. There was the actual hit. It just took a little while to take effect. Probably it took the next month rollover, I guess. So, alright. If we pass on 3 of our holdings, we're going to lose the direct taxes, but we're going to gain... In exchange, we're going to gain some percentage of what the vassal is getting, so we want to just pass on things that have a very low tax rate, have a very low income. It turns out that's a lot of stuff. That's everything. So, this whole duchy is just like... is basically producing nothing for us. In no small part because of its control. So yeah, I guess this is what we do. This is the new area, the stuff in Denmark. We just pass down Denmark to someone else. Who? But who, though? So let's see, your realm size, you're unlanded. That should probably change. I'm only allowed to hand you the things that you are already entitled to. But I may as well, right? Yeah, all of this stuff is giving us no money per month. That's not enough to make him powerful. But... And it would be okay to have him be powerful, right? But I guess at this point, we don't really have any use for all this piety, though, do we? I don't know of any things to spend on. I do feel like we should probably enter a mutual alliance that guarantees us access to his personal levies, right? So even more troops for me. And we're back up to 6.1 because we lost no money at all by doing that because there was no money coming out of that anyway. All right. That's good. Our swaying is working. There are always peasant factions threatening to become a problem, and we are absolutely going to just kick their asses if they make a noise about it at this point. But yeah, like, we don't really have a lot of ways of generating additional gold. I guess I can hold Mystical Communion at this point. There's absolutely no reason not to do this. I don't know that it helps very much, but we're not using the piety for anything else. I'm a little reluctant to do anything that spends our wealth, though. Uh-oh. My communions with the divine have been different lately. They no longer make me feel ecstatic, but instead weak. Today I cannot even muster the strength to rise from bed. I have gained the divine guidance, but I have also gained I am ill. A severe penalty. Severe penalty to my health. Okay, learn on the job is definitely helpful. That's a trait I care about. I do feel like we ought to do something here. So how am I feeling? How am I feeling in total? I'm fine. I'm basically fine. So it doesn't seem like we need a big risky treatment. I'm going to go do no more than what is necessary. Oh, it's the urine. It's the fresh urine from a pregnant sow. Excellent work. I love that that happened. I'm so pleased. You know, who wouldn't be happy about that? Alright, what else do we have going on? I don't really want to declare wars, because, like, wealth. Because, like, I really want to usurp this title. I don't know if this is the smart thing to do, but I really want to do it. And also, we have a lot of people in our kingdom who are pretty mad at us all the time about the offensive war thing, so I do like watching that penalty go down. Okay, cool. We finished currency. Also, conversions. So what seems like the most important thing to do next? Fortification buildings, siege weapons, can recruit armored footmen who have no terrain effects, but they just have stats. How does that compare to the stats of our current level of men-at-arms? I mean, the archers are probably not, like, the best thing to compare them to. But 33 damage. Okay. They don't have any pursuit or screen, but they hit hard and they have a lot of defense. I could see that being useful. Levy reinforcement rate up. Counties, raising the maximum existing development penalty does not seem sensible at all. This will allow us to enact... This is the law we already have, isn't it? Yes, we are already Confederate partition, so this does, like, literally nothing. What is the value of this? All tribal leaders are locked to this succession type in the first place. So... doesn't this do nothing for everyone? Like, this isn't just a weird situation thing. Like, this law is actually blank. Okay, city planning allows us to build some buildings, but it's not going to tell us what those buildings do. Very annoying. I mean... what can we build right now? Obviously, I'm a little reluctant to spend wealth doing building right now, but what can I build right now? So right now I can build... fort stuff, war camps, gathering halls, markets. So we have some real basic, like, income type buildings. And obviously in the long term, this stuff is valuable, but I would really like to get that kingdom title dealt with while this character is still alive, if we can, so I'm probably not willing to spend any money. But okay, so mostly it's just military stuff, and then we have one thing that gives taxes. So as compared to... from the descriptions, we can try to guess. A populous city, which houses a large number of burghers. So this being described as a populous city makes it sound like it's a holding. Maybe it's a holding. Maybe these are the basic holdings. I mean, that seems okay. That seems like it would be good to have. Individual de jure county casus belli, domain limit up. I don't really think that's very exciting. This unlocks all of the tribal era economic buildings. What does economic mean in this game's opinion? Okay, very specifically income-focused buildings. Well, it sounds to me like city planning might be the sensible thing to do. 27 years, maybe that could happen during our lifetime. Maybe. We're 68 now. Oh, sorry, we should be also... before I unpause, you need to be converting faith. We've almost got everybody in our empire flipped over to the new thing. These guys are all Asatru, though. Let's fix that. Because if we actually take this title, if we are properly seen by everyone to be the king, then to be the king of Denmark, or the High Queen of Denmark, or whatever, then we're getting in the neighborhood of being able to build an empire, right? Like, there's definitely other utility beyond this potentially being attacked by this guy once he manages to strengthen himself again. There's something odd about my guest Bjorn. Who is he? Well, he's a person with 25 prowess. He's a giant bear. And an aspiring blade master. Hey, buddy. How much would it be to just recruit you to court? Ooh, way too expensive. Oh, because he has a claim, too. Perhaps it is just my imagination running amok. Nevertheless, that ominous feeling is keeping me up at night. I would maybe like it if my spy master could figure out what his deal is. I could just go at him about it. But it's actually more likely that our spy master will be able to figure it out, because she's good at her job. Who's my current... I don't even remember. Oh, no, it's a guy. He is good at his job, yeah. Investigate. That's right, the old female spy master totally died. As I woke this morning and saw rays of sunshine falling through my window, it took me a moment to realize that I did not... Okay, I'm good. It took me a while to realize, oh hey, that urine really did the trick. I do so love all that urine. I found no proof of criminal activity or other dark deeds, not even any suspicious rumors. Okay. That's a little bit of a shame, because if we had gotten a hook on him, we could have used it to force him to come into our court, right? And I wouldn't mind having another guy with 25 prowess in our court. We're a very hero-based army, so... We're accumulating quickly-ish now, relatively quickly. Hereby invite you to a feast at my court. One of my vassals... He's a champion? Really? He has 5 prowess. Okay, well, we'll look into our knights in a second here. Actually, I guess let's just have a quick look now. Oh, I guess part of it is that I now have 15. I'm allowed to have 15 champions. So we have all the good champions that we used to have, and then also just like everybody else. Yeah, wow. So Bjorn is the greatest warrior in our lands. My husband, I assume this is just an old age issue. Yep, even with the big old age penalty, he's still 23. Like, he's still very, very impressive. I do kind of wish that we could have this guy, but I am absolutely not going to spend that much wealth to get him. Yeah, it'll be my pleasure. Let's do it. Let's do a feast. That sounds fun. Find myself deep in conversation with my agreeable son. Okay. I mean, listen, I like to be friends with my kids. Yeah, it's a subject that fascinates me as well. So we have a pretty considerable amount of levies. It does feel bad not to be pressing this army into service all over the place, but we do need to make this money. And also, the opinion penalties. Okay. So yeah, just more chatting. Had interesting conversation. The bonus from had interesting conversation is definitely better than additional opinion. Peasant rabble everywhere, always. Okay, we're all friends here. Things are going really well. We could get into some military stuff and try to just take more money in conquest claim than... Oh, raid! Right, we could raid. This is a thing. Sending your army to raid this tiny little area would bring you loot, would it? Okay, we've not done this yet. So control-click to not split the armies based on... Oh! The reason our armies were raising in different places is the supply limits of the places. Right, that makes sense. So, if I just put my rally point over here, and then I hit raise all as raiders. Let's see how this actually works. Okay, well, first of all, we're not even... Oh no, there we go. It's kicking in over time, right, as they actually get raised. So just go over here and do raiding? Do I have to indicate who I want to raid in some way? Maybe not. Let's see if this is actually worth anything. Am I allowed to raid more than one person at a time, I wonder? Okay, so, like, how do I... Always raid. Will automatically raid any viable holding it stops it. Right, so you're not in the holding area, though. So let's get over there, and I guess we'll see. Yep, there's the raiding. It's happening. Resulting loot, 15 wealth. This is not valuable. This is not worth the cost of having my, Okay, but we did capture some people as well. Are they ransomable? Because that would be good. Well, okay. Do we, sorry, I need to wait for that ransom to fire. It's like, we'll just keep raiding if we keep running. And obviously our neighbors will not like this. But also, what are they going to do about it? Okay, so we sent another ransom demand. Send another ransom demand. Honestly, I'm not sure that this is making us more money, because, like... If we're losing 2.5... We're losing, like... We were at, like, 6, right? So we're losing 3.5 wealth per month. So each one of these... Yeah, I get... Time is passing so quickly. I'm not 100% sure that this is worth doing. I think we'll finish this raid and then we'll disband. And there may be hostilities over the next couple of months, but, like, we could... If they want to raise up and fight us, we could definitely defeat them quite easily. Sure, I'll do a feast. Why not? I love feasts. Okay, so did we get the... It's weird that we hit, oh. Really? I have to take more consorts? Oh, one of my consorts died. Why do I not get a message when my consorts die? Doesn't it seem like that should happen? Sure. Welcome, welcome aboard. Have you met my man? Is there another holding around here that's... Okay, we can go raid that. This was recently raided and cannot be raided again for a long time, actually. So yeah, I guess you guys are done. Good raiding, everyone. Come home and disband? So yeah, you're really hoping to get, like, some prisoners that you can ransom at a reasonable cost, right? We could all tell Chiefdom, some guy who is my vassal, had too much to drink, even though he insisted on showing us how sober he was, and then he threw up all over me, and I don't really care for that. That seems bad. I will, in fact, reprimand him for vomiting on me. That seems like a reasonable thing to do. I listen intently to him as he carelessly reveals all manner of things. Oh, interesting. Distracted by trying to get one last drop from his tankard, he's oblivious to how carefully I'm paying attention. So what did I learn? I learned that he has a lover. That's not even a thing we care about. Right? I mean, okay, so, like, I guess what we could do is we could go and take that and make of it blackmail. Right? We could turn it into use blackmail to... Oh. No. I cannot. So yeah, like, because our culture doesn't care about this, right? Who gives a shit? But if we had a hook, then we could potentially use it as a way to increase the taxes that we take. But yeah, no benefit at all. Alright, I have become an eager reveler. I do love to revel. Everybody's always an eager reveler in this game. Okay, so you get the loot bag. I was going to say, it's weird that you don't get a notification when you take the loot, but it's because you don't actually get it until you get home. Okay. Yeah, sorry. Disband all. No, that doesn't work that way. You can't... Even if you have all of the armies selected, you still can only give them one of them in order at a time. Alvor has let the world know the father of her illicit pregnancy. I wanted to hope it wasn't so, but of course I knew it to be true. My consort is the real... Who cares? Okay. Again, I feel like a lot of stuff happens where you get, like, sort of the Christian... religious stuff pressed on you even when your religion works in an extremely different way. Like, this is not a problem for us. We don't care about this. Alright. Who is the most amiable person you have heard of? King Toasty asks me. Well, it's probably him. I could say me, and that would give me 75 prestige, and... It would be such an epic own that all would talk about it for all days. No, we're trying to make friends here. I'm trying to have nearby friends in case this Denmark thing comes to a head, you know? So, okay, we're making all right money. My granddaughter was taken prisoner. What? Taken prisoner by my son? What are you guys doing? All right, I mean, whatever. Just be careful. Just telling my children and grandchildren to play nice. But basically, we're just wait until this number hits 500. All right. More populists and stuff. Conversion is converting. All of this converting is going really well so far. Keep converting random areas over here. Like, so we've seen that a lot of the old Ukanusko over here we didn't have to do anything about specifically. It just kind of happened. I assume because we had so much Ukanusko, new Ukanusko, that it sort of like bled over the borders. So I'm assuming the same thing will happen here. If we convert enough of this, it will press out and start turning the rest of it without my needing to do so carefully. So you guys are looking pretty big and powerful. How would you feel about maybe an alliance of some kind? I got kids and you got... Nope, nobody is available for an alliance. I'm just like a little worried about the number of strong neighbors we're starting to accumulate. I want to make sure that we're all on good terms here. Our taxes are getting like okay. And we're going to be a living legend really soon. What is the next one of these? Okay, the next legacy's at 1250. That's unfortunate. It's gonna take a while. That's definitely not gonna be a thing we get to do with this character. Really, really hoping we're gonna get a year's warning before we die, right? Before we die of natural causes. We have a spy master who, in theory, is good enough at spy stuff to defend us from most schemes, and who actually likes me, so not likely to be turned against me. My unquenchable pursuit for knowledge has brought me to discover a strange old text. The volume, attributed to an ancient theologian only rarely referenced in official sources, brings light to certain aspects of Ukanusko that I had no idea it belonged within the faith's dogma. So I could burn it. I would gain the trait Zealous. I mean, that does seem in character, doesn't it? Opinion of different faiths, minus 35. I could study this in private, or we could review these ancient practices. Ukanusko could gain kinslaying accepted. But I don't want it to, though. It would if that happened, it would give me a perk. But no, that's cool. I'm good. Do we want to? Does she become properly zealous? I mean, it's kind of wild that she's not already, I suppose. I think that's very in character. And then learn on the job is bananas. All the way up to 7.2 off of the extra stewardship there. So just a couple of months. Just a couple more months. Alright, good. Keep bringing everybody into the tribe. You two can marry. This is a thing, apparently, that happened. Why am I even being... I didn't set this marriage up. I'm not allowed to tell them that it must be matrilineal now. I don't actually benefit from that. I'm not going to force it. Alright, so we're about to hit 500 wealth. Let's have a look at usurping this title. You cannot usurp the primary title of someone fighting a war. That is deeply stupid. A very video gamey restriction. And unfortunately, it can really screw things up because the AI is so bad at war that they can be fighting a war for decades. In a way that doesn't really make sense given the way the game systems work. The game systems are relatively simple and straightforward. So, could I get over here and help in some way? What is the deal with this? He's in 2 wars. I mean, it does not make any goddamn sense that we can't usurp his title because he's too busy. It's not like I was asking him in the first place. It is legitimately the case. How old are we? 70. It is legitimately the case that we might die before those wars end. Alright, so what is even happening here? He's not even part of, like, he's only kind of part of this war. This isn't even a war that meaningfully involves him. And same deal over here. He's just a random... Oh, well, he's at least the defender in this war. Okay, hi. Who are you? Can I offer to join your war? No, because I don't know anything about you. Well, let's fix that. Let's be friends. I would love to join your war. What is this war for? The conquest of the Chiefdom of Mecklenburg. Which is, okay. Yeah. I would love to join up. Can we form an alliance, potentially? What if my... Geez, hold on a second. My player heir's direct player heir is almost certainly already married. No! No, she is not. Okay. So yeah, none of this would... Hold on, let me... Oh, the trade filter was already off. So why is it that we can't form alliances anymore? Why did we stop being able to form alliances? It might be that I have a higher level of title than everybody else, but it shouldn't be, right? You know what? This is a problem we do have to resolve. I think we're going to make this a slightly shorter episode because, once again, I got to go to the internet and do a little bit of research. We got to figure out exactly how best to deal with this situation. If I get completely screwed out of being able to do this by him and another person being incompetently at war, just sort of waving their arms at each other from a distance, I'm going to be very annoyed. So I think that's what we're going to call this for right now. Thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next time, probably later today, we're going to figure this out, and we are going to get everyone else in the world to recognize that I'm in charge of Denmark. Because, like, I'm extremely in charge of Denmark, and it's very silly that everybody else doesn't see that. And we'll see you then.